Hi, this is Chrissy Jones with OklahomaHomeschoolArt.com. Today what we're going to do is draw a field in one-point perspective. Now all that means is that it's going to look like the field is going away from us as we look at it. And that's a fun thing to learn. You'll need a ruler, pencil, a piece of paper, and crayons. If you are in K or first grade, you'll probably need an adult to help you keep the ruler still. Second and third grade, give it a try. If it's hard, get someone to help you hold the ruler still. And then grades 5 and above should have no trouble at all. Okay, let's dive into the project. I have my piece of paper here and my ruler, and I'm going to go down about 2 inches on my page and make a line straight across. You want to be sure to hold your ruler still, and if that's hard, get a parent to help you. Okay, all done. Now I'm going to put my little dot, and this little dot can go anywhere you want it to. But for today, let's put it in the middle. I'm going to make mine nice and big so you can see it, but it's okay if you make yours small. I'm going to start by placing my ruler on the dot and letting my ruler fall anywhere on the edge. And I'll make my first line. Done. Now, if I want a big road, I'd put my ruler far away. If I'd like a little road, I'm going to put my ruler near this first line. I'm going to put my ruler on the dot, and then I'm going to put it so that it's a pretty nice road, but it's not huge. And now I've got my road. And now I want to design my fields. And I want it to look like, I think I'm going to make rows and rows of flowers. That it'll look like they're starting very close to me, but then they'll go far away from me in the distance. I'm going to put my ruler on the dot and make my first line. And then I'm going to move my ruler and make another line. And I'll move it again and make another line. And there's my last one. And the only real rule is that my ruler has to stay on the dot as I make the lines. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Now again, if you're having a little trouble, your parents can help you with this. I'm going to move my crayons so that I can really get my ruler right where I want it. All right, now I've got where my field is going to be and where I can plant my rows of flowers going far away. And here I've got the distance. One thing I could do is I could draw a rectangle with a square, and then I could draw a circle with a line coming down, and I could make triangles to make it look like there was a windmill far away. So now I've got my rows of flowers, where they'll be, and my windmill. I'm going to start by coloring my road, and because I know my flowers are going to be an explosion of color, I think I'll just choose a simple brown. I'm going to start back here, and I'm going to lay a light row of color. Now remember, I've been teaching you not to draw in big rows, but to learn to draw in small light layers. And there's my small light layers, and if I do that very gently, my hand doesn't get very tired. All right, and so there is my road. All right, the next thing I think I'll take care of is my sky. And you know me, if I can use sea green or sky blue, I'm going to do it. So here we go. I'm going to start with my blue. And I know I want to work in small sections so my hand doesn't get tired. So rather than trying to drag it all the way across, I'm just going to go very gently back and forth across the page in one little line all the way down. And there I am. I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring my sky, and then I'll be right back. All right, so here I am back. I've finished my sky, and I've also decided to make my windmill red. Now, I understand that when I'm looking at something far, far away, it can become duller and darker because the eye has trouble picking it up. So I'm going to layer just a little bit of gray over my red color to make it duller and darker, so it'll appear like it's even more in the distance. I'm going to use brown to color the square and the rectangle. And I'm also going to use just a little bit of gray on top to make it duller and darker in the distance. All right, now I've got my fields. I'm excited to do this. What I'm going to do is pick colors that I like best for flowers. And I'm going to start by simply coloring the whole area with that color. This is where the red flower or the pink flowers will go. So I'm going to draw some pink to cover the field. This is just going to look like it's filled with flowers. And now when I'm finished, I'm going to draw the flowers on top. I'm going to draw bigger flowers in the front. Now I haven't given them a middle yet. But things, whenever you're looking out, things are always bigger, and then as they go away from you, they appear smaller. So I want to do that with my flowers. So I'm kind of drawing this squiggly round line, and those squiggly roundish flower lines are going to get smaller and smaller as I go back. And as they go back and they're farther away, they become smaller and smaller circles until they're just very, very small. And now I'm kind of to the point I'm just drawing them as dots. And that's going to show them going backward. I'm going to take another color now to do the centers. And especially the ones in front are going to have fairly large centers. And as they go backwards, it'd be harder and harder to see the center at all. So back here, as they go back, I'm not going to draw those centers anymore. And now it really does look like it's fading away. I hope you can see that fairly easily. Now for this one, I used all the same color, but I think for this one, I'm going to start with a green field. I'm going to start at the back and color my way forward. Now I don't like pencil lines in my work. You might like those and want to leave those there. But if you don't like them, you can go over them with a stronger color. Like I might put green here, but if I go over it, I'm going to go lighter and back and press down harder as I come up. And that again gives me that duller, more difficult to see in the part that's further back, and easier to see in the part coming forward. So now I've covered up the pencil line in that section of field, at least as best I can with a crayon. I'm going to finish this. Okay, so now on this one I've done a green background, but I think I'm going to do some pretty red roses in the front. So I'm going to get my True Red. if I can find it quickly. And again, I'm going to draw large flowers in front. Now this large squiggly line flower is the one I like to use for this project, but someone may have taught you how to draw a different kind of flower, and you can do that. You could do all kinds of things with the field. But the important part is it starts out big in front, and then your squiggle flowers get smaller and smaller as they go away. And they turn into tiny squiggles. And I'm going to try to keep it the same as what I've done in this section, so it kind of lines up. And then it becomes kind of some dots as you go toward the background. Now to do the centers here, I think what I'll do, well, you know, I'll just stick with my red. Again, I'm going to give big centers here in the front. And everything gets smaller as you go back, to the point that you don't really need centers at all, because your eye couldn't possibly see them if they were that far away. So I won't draw those. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my fields, and I'll be back. All right, so I've gotten several rows of my fields finished. I still have a couple more to go. I do want to remind you again, things look duller and darker as they go toward the vanishing point, that little dot we drew. And so if you want to take your gray and just go slightly over the last little bit, the last little part of the, if you think about that as a triangle, just kind of a light amount. You can even make your fields look like they're duller and darker as they go into the distance. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that over as they, the part of the field as it goes to the vanishing point. Again, it's not a heavy application, just a little here and there. Okay, so there is how to make a field that looks like it's going away into the distance and a windmill in the distance. If you wanted to make several of these just to play around, you could do things like make a sunset in the background. You could do that by taking a little bit of yellow maybe, and put some yellow in the center, maybe behind the windmill. Now I don't know how well this is going to do with the blue I've already added. You'd have to do maybe some of this before you put the blue down. Who knows, we might have good luck. Then a little bit of orange spreading out into the sky there. You know, our Oklahoma sunsets are just so beautiful that it's fun to try to recreate them. A little bit of maybe some rose color, little pink under that orange. Make that sit out. And now I've changed a daytime sky to more of an evening sunset, or maybe even the morning sunrise. So anyway, you can add some colors into the sky as well. I look forward to seeing what you've created. Please be sure to send it to me at missapronstrings@gmail.com, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.